Hi my lovely friends, this is Marta from Drop of Sunshine and it's time for another flower making lessons. Now, so far I've showed you how to create this flower and they both were made using the same dye, forming rose from apple blossom range. I've also showed you how to create this one without the dyes. However, if you would use the same technique of shaping, coloring, doing those little edges with this petals, you will be able to create the same look over here. So what I want to do, I want to show you how to create another different type of the flower, because I want to let you know that you not necessarily need to buy the whole 10 different sets in order to be able to create different types of the flowers. All you really need to buy is one good design of the flower dies like that, and then you'll be able to make different variation. So let's get started. For my today's project, for making these flowers, all I really need is a couple of the cutouts from the foam. And what I have here, let me just see, I've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 of the large one and 3 smaller one. I think I did it right, or yep, that's all I have. And then what I also have is forming tools. I've got some blending chalks, I've got a couple of the markers and some stamens, and of course we're gonna be needing some heat source like iron, and then our hot glue gun. So this is what I'm gonna be needing, and I will start from coloring my flowers. Let me put these aside. And now what I will do, as usual, I will grab a baby wipe. So I could have something, you know, with a little bit moisture, because this moisture helps to distribute the color. The color is just, work nicely and smoothly, whether you're using the gelatos or inks or whatever you're planning to use, like a pastels. It always works better when you have the wet wipe. So I think I'm gonna be aiming for some orangey color tone, as I have this orange markers here. So what I have a set of 3 for each flower. I think 1 2 3 and 1 2 3. So I will create 1 small flower and 2 larger one. And let me have a look whether it's this one, a little bit orangey. I'm taking very little amount because I don't want my flower to turn too dark. And what I'm doing here, I am very gently just tapping. I'm not using too much color, just a little teeny tiny bit, and I'm creating this depth inside of my flower rather than coloring the outside as we did the other time. This time I am coloring only the inside portion. So you'll see once we finish making these flowers, these will be looking totally different than what we had before with the other flowers. And don't go too far, just teeny tiny bit on the inside portion. This is all you need. And this works the best if you have the light color foam. I've mentioned it before on my other classes that I actually prefer to work on a light pastel colors. It's so much easier to create the this kind of a depth look when you have the light color foam. It's much difficult. Well, you can still color the dark one, but the colors, they're not gonna be as vibrant. Like here you've got this really big distinction between the orange and white, and if you had the dark color foam, that would not be as much visible, so your color wouldn't be popping as much. And once here, a little bit here, it's only take a second. And when you cut your foam, I think I said that before on my other flower making classes, but if there is a friends who are watching here first time and you haven't seen the other videos, they all are saved on my playlist. So if you go to my channel the front page on my YouTube channel, you will find the playlist with all the flower making videos, but you will find there different like different advices in each video. But from time to time I will repeat myself with some of the advices, because there could be someone who's watching first time, and I don't want anyone to miss on something and then just like start making flowers and think like, oh, this is not working. So what I was planning to say is that whenever you're doing your flowers, you're cutting the foam using the dies, you can fold the foam like up to 3-4 times. I usually what I do, I fold mine here, you can see it exactly 4 times. So I fold it like that, and then I'm putting the die and run it through. You cannot go back and forth on the foam. This is very, very stretchy material, and once you pass it through once, and it's not gonna cut all four layers. Don't do the mistake and try to go back, because your flowers will be out of a shape. They're just gonna be cut second times, and sometimes this could break your petals. So it's a case of actually going and seeing how much layers your die cutting machine can take. Mine is taking 4, no problem. So next step, what I have here, I have 2 markers, and I think I'm gonna use that one. They're actually very similar. This is very cheap markers I've bought in BM store, and you can find these in a range works. There's lots of stores which recently do this watercolor and alcohol marker versions of the Copics and other expensive pens. Obviously, I will be honest here, this is a cheap version. I think the set of the 12 or something, it cost me like £5 or £6. So naturally, they're not blending as super great as, for example, Arteza watercolor markers, or like Spectrum Noir, or any other good brands. I don't own the Copic. I never use the Copic, so I won't be able to tell you that. I've dreamed about having the full sets of the Copic maybe one day, but for now this is out of my budget, and I'm always looking for some other cheaper alternatives if I can find some. So I think the 2 I am most pleased with, well, the 2 I've been buying, and they are like in my pocket range, are actually the Arteza, and I have the selection of the Spectrum Noir. But sometimes from time to time, if I'll spot something in the cheap store and it's just costing something, oh, I could spare those money, because if I pay £6 and I won't be happy, I can always give it to my son and he'll be playing with it. So that's what was my thought. But because they have a nice selection of all kinds of sheets and things like that, I'm just happy to using them. So what I do now, I just very gently go over the edges, trying to get rid of this white border. So this is all I'm doing here. I'm not coloring very heavy, just a teeny tiny bit, so this will color the edge. I will come back to you once I finish them all, because I don't want you to wait 5 minutes watching me coloring this. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I have colored all my edges, and now I will proceed to shape my flowers. So I'm just gathering them in a pair of 3 of each for each of my flowers. And let me just grab my mat on which I will be helping myself to shape them. So I've got my heat up, my iron up, and I will need a little piece to help me hold them so I'm not gonna burn my fingers. Now what I will do as well, I will create some stamen centers, but I will do that maybe in a second, because I can see my iron is already heat up. So I'm placing it, I'm waiting for the foam to heat up, and once it's heat, I am just curling it very gently This time I'm not gonna do too much curl up, just a little bit. Now I am placing it this side, which I think it will be looking nicer, but it would not really matter. It's just something, you know, either way. Once you have your edge and flowers color on both sides, that's don't really matter which side you are placing it. So again, I am just placing it, heat it up, and once it starts curling, then I am taking off and just, you know, squeezing it and rolling it on my hand very gently, not too much. You don't want to rip it off. Just give it a little bit of the shape. Okay, and I've set my iron to the maximum number 3 heat, so I only put it on 1 second. And if you work with more delicate foam, which is like a 0.6 millimeter, very thin and delicate one, you may want to put your heat on the lower level, because you don't want to burn your foam. And there is also a silk foam, Famiran, which is a lot more delicate, and this one you can actually form without the heat, but I prefer this one because the other one, I think it's too delicate for me, so I do prefer working with that one because it's a little bit more stretchy and it's just easier for me to form. But this is just a matter of the personal preferences. Okay, and now what I have for you, if you check the description area of this video, you will find the list of the useful things. Like I've got the tools there, I've got the link to the foam, to the stamens, so anything you can need to create this, you will find everything in the description. So I'm rolling the third one just like that, and then straight away I am just you know, unplugging this iron, and let me just take it aside because I don't want to burn my hand accidentally, so I'll put it far away, because I know myself well. I've did it plenty times, so I don't want to you know, make any burns. And now I am stretching it, and what I was showing you before, but for those who are watching here first time, I'm always stretching my petals on the base, not on the top where you've got this petal shape, but on the bottom at the end of the petal, like when it's just nearly beside the center. And it's good to have a short nails, because if your nails are, you know, long and pointy, you may rip the foam much easily. So here you can see I'm just stretching them just like that. You will see with the time how much you can go. It depends, different foams, they have a little bit different condensity, so they may form a little bit different, but you will see for yourself. So once I unravel one, I am proceeding until I do all of them. And don't get yourself discouraged if you rip the first few flowers, because this is happening. It's happening to me. I recently, when I was showing you this blue flower without the dye, I also rip one of the petals. Don't get yourself you know, into the stress that you're doing something wrong, because this is taking a time. You just need to see how much you can go, and once you do a couple of the flowers, it will kind of become easier for you, that you know what you can do and how much you can actually stretch your flowers. So what I will do here, I will just stretch them out, and I will come back to you once I do them all, because I don't want you to wait 3 minutes for me to do that, but I'm gonna do the exactly the same step on all of them. Okay, my friends, so I've stretched them all and even accidentally broke one of the petals. Where is it? Over here. So don't panic if it happened to you. Just add a teeny tiny bit of the glue, just a hot glue, just like that, and then just put them together and it will be barely visible. You can use that petal to go on the bottom layer and no one will ever see you've got any tearing here. And if you would like to close it up, you can close it even further a little bit, just like that, and no one will ever see that you have the broken petal, especially if you adhere your flower to the card base, and that will be you know, no one will see it. So now what I'm doing here, I am just taking my shaping tool, but you can do exactly the same step with the pencil and then very, very firmly squish it in the center, create this little like kind of a ball effect on your flower. I have a glue string here on my hand, which is come on, I don't need that. So okay, I am just pressing here very, very firmly, and if you don't have the cork board tongue twisting, if you don't have the tool like the forming foam, this base which I have, then you can use a kitchen sponge and that will be working perfectly. So anything, or you can if you've got a felt or any other material, just use a few layers just so you could have a little bit squishy surface. Now time for adding the stamens, and what I think I will go is this color because I think they will be looking nice. But I also have the white. Oh, I don't know, decisions. But yeah, let's go with that. We're creating a different look today. So what I will do, and let me just open that a little bit. There's a piece of the wire which is holding it. I'll try not to break the whole bit, but sometimes it's impossible. I'm taking myself a piece of the florist wire. It's just because it's easier to do it this way, but you can use whatever you prefer. And I'm just squishing it here so it's having this nice little area. And now what I will do, first thing first. Okay, I'm gonna glue these. And where's the one which was broken? Oh, you see, I can't even see which one is. Oh, that was this one. So let me just glue these three together first. So I'm adding a dash of the glue, then I'm offsetting my layers because I'm gonna do different thing today, or maybe not. Okay, I'm gonna do it like that, which I think will be looking nice. And then I'm gonna offset the third layer. So this time I will do other way around. So I'm gonna put my three layers together, squish it towards the inside very, very well. And then if I have the petals which are too much roll, I can change it a little bit. And once I have three layers together this time, what I will do, I will grab a bunch of these, I don't know, something like that. How many? There's 10, 15 of them. I don't really count them, just a teeny tiny bit, maybe a few more. The more you gather, the bigger center, flower center you will have. So dependingly what you like to do, you can just make them little one or make them bigger by grabbing more of these stamens. And then what I will do, I will place them in between my wire. And this way, if I hold them like that, I have this easy thing I could thread through. So all I really need to do is to take this punching tool or piercing tool, like you've got you know, a poking hole tool, and then I am just threading it through a little bit, and just like that. Be very gentle, just do it very, very slowly, because you don't want to rip your flower. So we're kind of twisting a little bit. And now once you see that your stamens are start coming through, what I like to do, I am opening up my flower just like that, holding it with my finger, and I am adding a dash of the hot glue over here to the flower center. And once I am threading my stamens through, I gently like twist it so the glue is, you know, spreading around, and this way it's adhering my stamens inside of my flower. And now I can decide how much I want to pull. Am I pulling it all the way down, or I just leave them standing up, which I really like. I think this is looking nice. And once I'm happy with the level of my stamens, then I am taking off this wire just like that, because we thread it through, so we can reuse it over and over again. And if you don't have the wire, you can use a paper clip for that, just stretch it. And then once I'm happy with the position of my stamens, I am turning my flower upside down, and I am just adding the glue all around here, just like that, to help it to stay. And then I am placing my flower upside down, and I just leave it to cool it down. Now next layer, let me see. Okay, which one to start from? So I'm just kind of putting it like that to make it easier, adding a little dash of the glue in the center, and then offsetting my layer just like that. And once I'm happy with how it's offset, then I'm just pressing, and then I'm gonna repeat the step, add a little dab of the glue, and try to offset the other layer just like that, maybe like that, trying to be in the center, and then back again, squishing it very, very hard so they all gonna lift. And this way, once I'm having the flower put together, I am grabbing the bunch of the stamens and then trying to, you know, make them as even as possible. I think I have too many. I'm not gonna count them because, you know, it doesn't really matter, no one will see, but just try to level them up. So they're gonna be, once you fold them half, they're gonna be kind of even on both sides. So as you can see here, I've got this nice center for my next flower, and then again I am poking the hole in the center. I'm going all the way up. My tool is widening up, so I'm just going like towards the widest point, not just a little tiny hole, because this helps you to thread it through. And then again, I am just threading it through the hole I've created, just like that. And then once I'm reaching the point here, I am just proceeding very, very gently, because I don't want to the flower to rip. So for that, I am just doing it very slowly, pushing it so it will start coming through. And once I have my stamens, as you can see here, start coming through, then I'm opening up the flower back again and adding a little bit of the glue from both sides. And then I am, you know, trying to take it a little bit lower, and once I'm twisting this side, the glue then distributes in between those stamens and help them to stay. And I always like to do, I'm kind of like to see how far I did on the other flower. So if I'm creating the batch of the flowers, they all kind of looking similar. So here is the second one, just like that. And then what I will do, I will take off my wire and I will secure this layer with the dab of the glue all around my stamens, just like that. Hot glue, and leave it to cool down. And once it will cool down, we can then chop off this bit so this won't you know, stay in the way once we're gonna be creating our cards. So back again a little bit, and then I'm adding some glue just like that, and trying to offset the next layer so they're gonna be looking nice. And you can do it with 2 layers, 3 layers, 5 layers. It's entirely up to you how much you like your flowers to be, you know, build up. So what I like to do, I like to experiment. Sometimes I'm taking 2, sometimes I'm taking 3, dependingly. If I'm in a hurry and I need to create my flowers quicker, then I will go with the less petals, less layers, because it's easier to done, and you can create more of these in a shorter time. So I have my last flower here, and then I am grabbing the stamens here. Okay, level them up, just put them on your finger, and then just tap it a few times, so this will help you to put them all even, and then fold them in half with the help of the wire, just like that. And we have our flower center ready. So all we really need to do is to poke the hole, make sure it go a little bit farther so it's a little bit wider, not just teeny tiny hole, and then thread it through and start just, you know, start to like pushing a little bit, so until your stamens start coming out. So this is another flower proposition for you. And if you enjoy my classes, if you like the creation, the flower, please comment down below with the flower emoji, and let me know what's your favorite flower, which one would you like to learn how to create. And of course, I would love it if you would share the video. Please click the share button, help me to reach new friends who may be interested. If you know anyone who like to do floral cards and projects, mixed media and something, and they would like to learn the flowers, let them know that I do have those free classes here on my YouTube channel. I think that's third one is ready, and I can hear my boys are coming back. So definitely it's time to wrap it up the video. I will put this aside so they're not gonna be in the way, and let me just quickly show you how these turn it out. I've got some glue string. These are dry, so I can show you, and I'll leave that one lying just like that. So here is the close-up look, how they look like. I think they look in kind of like Magnolia. I don't know, I'm not too much you know, good in recognizing flower, but I hope you enjoy them. I will make some cards using these ones now, so I will show you the ready project on my other video as well. So thank you so much for being here, for watching, and I'll see you on another time. And just to let you know, this is a flower making series, and I will aim to post a new flower making video next Friday. But I also have a few other interesting topics to cover in between the Fridays. So I hope you will subscribe and click the notification bell so you're not gonna be missing on the new videos. Stay blessed, my friends, and bye bye.